Hey, you guys. We're here, guys, and back and better than ever before. Um, we're here with Road to Nowhere. As you guys always know, it's you guys, it's Oreo Junior Jr. Hell, we even got real Oreo Junior Oreo down there. Here, let me show y'all. Well, you can't see. Let's real Oreo. See, he getting excited. We got real Oreo down there. We got Scott. We got me. We got Christopher Pike. We got Poppy Corn. We got Freedom Drag. We got Teresa. And we got Bill living rent free in Teresa's head, period. Everybody's here. Scott, are you excited about that? Yeah. Okay, we're going to put Oreo Jr. back there. Real Oreo's here. So just excuse if you hear all this snuffing and just whatever he be doing. Okay. Scott, are you ready to hear Popcorns? Oh, yeah. Tell. Now we ain't heard from her yet, honey. All she's been doing is sitting there smoking with cigarettes all day and night. So here we go. I'm ready to hear my girl because I like her little one-liners. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Come on, Popcorn girl. Okay, here we go. Candy didn't go off to Berkeley when John was thrown into juvenile hall. Not right away, Poppy said. That was June, the beginning of summer. Candy had 3 months of loneliness to ponder what had happened with John. She felt awful about it. She thought she was largely to blame. You kind of were, girl, because you just sat there acting like you didn't know what to do with the paper. Girl, you could have sat on it. You could have put it in your shirt. We discussed all the things she could have did, but she did nothing. She just sat there like, oh my God. She thought if she had only eaten the cheat sheet as soon as that silly Sally had called Mr. Sims, the whole fiasco would have been avoided. But then at other times, she wondered if that was true. She had known of John's temper from the beginning, and almost at the start of their relationship, she had backed away from him because of it. John really couldn't control himself when he got mad. Okay, girl, he need a little anger management, sound like to me. His first reaction was to swing out with his fist. Yet, he had never come close to hitting Candy, which was probably why she stayed with him as long as she had. But sometimes, Candy saw the incident with Mr. Sims as something inevitable. If John hadn't hit a teacher in high school, he probably would have hit one in college. Oh, Lord. Okay, he's just violent. He's violent. John had taken so much physical abuse from his stepfather. It was as if he had to get back at someone. Oh, he got some daddy issues. Which, I mean, a lot of people have them. Candy tried the best she could to see John while he was in juvenile hall, but her parents were way ahead of her. They spoke to the people in charge there, and Candy couldn't even get past the front gate. Okay, her parents said, no, she is a minor. Or no, wait, she wasn't a minor. She was 18. So they I don't know why these parents have so much control over their children that are their adult children, but here we are. They didn't want their darling daughter associating with such scum. What a laugh. They were so excited about Candy getting into a good college that they had no idea it was all because of John. Candy tried to tell them that, but they wouldn't listen. September finally arrived, and it was time for Candy to head north to Berkeley. John wasn't sentenced to 3 months, but 15 weeks in juvenile hall. So he didn't get out until Candy had been at school for 3 weeks. John didn't go home when he was released. Candy tried reaching him there, and his parents said they didn't know where he was. She left messages for him to call her. Maybe John's parents didn't give those messages to John, or maybe John didn't get them, or did get them and was too mad to call Candy. But the results were the same. Candy couldn't get a hold of John, and she had to go on with her life. She was a mess. She missed John terribly. Oh, honey, Candy missing her some Johns.
Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I was. No, I ain't got my glasses on.
Uh-oh.
The more time that went by, the worse she felt. They had been together almost 2 years. John was the only boyfriend she had ever had. Certainly, he wasn't the kind of guy who was easy to replace. No, girl, he didn't got your ass all the way to Berkeley. Girl, you need to be finding him. You should be searching for him in the daylight with a flashlight. Girl, find him. How you gonna pass Berkeley? He got you there. Needs to be looking for him, girl. Talking about he the kind of guy that's hard to replace. Yeah, clearly. He had a temper. He was arrogant and tactless. But there was nobody with a bigger heart than John. Oh. He had worshipped Candy and would do anything for her. Yeah, he went to juvenile hall so you get to Berkeley.
Yeah, how come she didn't get in any trouble for cheating?
Because he beat up the teacher.
No.
Remember, he punched the teacher and played Mike Tyson's knockout with the teacher. So at that point, he forgot that she even existed.
Okay.
He came for the homie, for John. There was a lot of stuff between them that Free didn't tell you about. Like the time John took her to the school prom. He didn't rent a limo and a tux and showed up to her door with a corsage in his hand. He got a hold of a cement truck. I mean, I guess it's out of the ordinary. You making a splash. I don't know if I would want to pull up to my prom in a cement truck, but people would talk about it forever. And rented a clown costume instead of a tux. Okay, girl. I don't know about that one. He made a crown out of tinfoil for her and sprayed it gold so that Candy was prom queen the moment she walked in the door. That's cute, though. So I guess it's nice, but I don't know if that's my kind of get now. Scott, you gonna take me to prom and make me a tinfoil crown and spray it gold and rent a cement truck and a clown suit? Pick me up.
Sure, why not?
I'm a lucky girl.
I'm sure you can rent a cement truck.
It's LA. I feel like if you have enough money, anything can happen there.
Pretty sure you can get CDL and drive it too.
Scott, this is a pretend.
Okay.
Now, that may sound embarrassing, but Candy loved it, honey. She said, "This my man, girl. That's my man. He got me to Berkeley." They were the center of attention the whole night. I mean, hello. And afterward, John fixed a bunch of potholes in the back entrance of the school. Period, John. Okay, I like it now. John said, "And let me help y'all out. Because y'all know damn well y'all got these potholes and y'all messing up people's alignment, they front wheel alignment, honey. And that shit is expensive. So let me fix these potholes." Period.
All right, well,
what?
Cement and asphalt are different things.
That's why we don't invite Scott out. That's why we don't invite him out. He don't need to be out because he don't know how to act. He ain't got no home training for real. He really was a clown. But it was John and not Candy who stopped them from getting together again after he got out of juvenile hall. I don't care what Free says. That's the truth. Candy quickly started to drown at Berkeley. Girl, yes. That's why you should have been finding that man. Girl, you can't do that by yourself now. You know that. You were failing before that man, started jumping your bones. Do you know what a pre-med major requires? Tons of chemistry, physics, calculus, biology, not to mention the usual basic requirements. Yeah, girl, you over your head. Candy was flunking out the first month. Her classmates were way ahead of her from the word go. They had taken preparatory courses in high school. Candy had taken the same courses, but she had never done the work. She hired a bunch of tutors to help her, but they didn't know where to start with her, girl, because you don't know nothing. You should have took a painting class, an art class. They ask her things like, "You don't know what a derivative is? You don't know what an acid-base reaction is? You don't know what F equals MA means?" Girl, I don't know none of that either. I guess I'm stupid. Candy began to overload. Maybe she could have sat down and figured things. Maybe she could have sat down and figured things out if given more time. She wasn't stupid. She was. She just had never developed good study habits. Girl, I think you need more than good study habits here. All the stress made her freeze up. Plus, she had no interest in the subject she was taking. Fruit was right about what he said about Candy parents wanting her to become a doctor. Candy wanted to become an artist, and in her entire schedule, just as in high school, she didn't have one art class. The first semester, Candy had to drop her hard classes so she didn't take have to take F's in them. She ended up with only 6 credits. She got C's in psychology and English. Her counselor called her into his office, and it was all she could do to keep him from calling her parents. She promised to do better. Girl, how you gonna do that? Are you gonna go find John? Because somebody needs to be finding John. Girl, I would have hired a private detective. Find this man. Find him. Or do this math homework. Do both. Find John and do my math homework. Oh my God. The counselor put her on a much easier schedule and told her to just forget about going to med school. Girl, please. She would never get in. In a way, she was relieved, but at the same time, she was in shock. Her parents were paying for her tuition. If they found out the way things were going, they'd be furious. She figured they would probably cut her off. Then what? She would have to crawl home on hands and knees and get a job at the local fast food joint. Panicking, she went to the administration building and managed to have her parents' address changed to a P.O. box that didn't exist. Girl, how long you think that's going to... Never mind. Candy returned. They paid the bill, so baby, they going to call up there eventually. And they going to confirm. Okay, it don't matter. Candy returned for Christmas and gave vague answers about how she was doing. Her parents fell for it for the time being. She spent most of her vacation trying to track down John. Smart. That is the best move you could be doing here at this point. Girl, you better find John. Somebody find John. Just run out into the streets like, John, help, John. Like I would just be in total panic mode here. Hell, I have a stats class I got to take to get my psychology degree, which is insane to me. When I finally get it, I won't complain. And I'm panicking. Hell, I might go look for John. Hell, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I mean, I do have the stats class, but I'm not going to go find John. She spent most of her way. She went to his parents' home, but they wouldn't even let her in the door. All she got was John's stepdad. Girl, you better bag up off him. He be beating on people. He said he had no idea where John was. She went to his old job. Same story. Her leads were in short supply. John had never been one to have friends. Really, that was the sad thing about John. She was his only true friend. That's sad. He seemed like a sweet guy. And he had so many wonderful qualities, but people couldn't see beyond his abrasive personality. But what was equally true was that John had been Candy's only true friend. When they lost each other, they lost a good deal. Candy returned to Berkeley with a heavy heart. Girl, I would have just quit. I would have just been like, you know what? Column A, column B, baby. It is what it is. Girl, ain't no way in hell I would have kept this going. What is your major, ma'am? If you're not going for pre-med, what did you switch your major to? She did better her second semester. It would have been hard for her to do worse. Damn, it's gonna drag a girl like that. But she had no major. Oh, okay. I guess that answers that. She has no major and was basically a young woman going through the motions of getting an education. She was in a paranoid state. Sorry, we got the regular Oreo crying because he cries. This is what he does. And we got Little Cat in here. Little Cat made Oreo cry. The axe was going to fall soon. She knew it. When it did, she didn't want it to cut her whole head off. Damn. When her parents found out that she was no longer pre-med, She at least wanted to be able to point out that she was still fulfilling her basic requirements. You should have told them when you was up there in Christmas, ma'am. I would have been like, look, I am not a doctor, honey. I'm gonna have to go be something else. Okay. I'm gonna be a philosopher. I'm gonna be an artiste, not an artist, an artiste. I'm not regular. I'm not normal. I set myself apart. I'm gonna be, I don't know, just culinary arts. I'm gonna be on the World Baking Championship, the Christmas Baking Championship. God, just girl, we gotta reroute the expectations. We gotta reroute them expectations over there and there and over there and right there. Okay, reroute them because this is too much. For that reason, she was afraid to take an art class. Does it matter at this point? It was absurd. Sometimes she stopped by a drawing class to see the quality of work being done by the students. I wouldn't be exaggerating to say she was better than the teachers. Candy had talent, and it was all going to waste because she don't want to be honest and go take all art classes. She over here playing with herself, not in like the way, but in the mental way. You're playing yourself, ma'am. Near the end of the second semester, she met a man. Okay, girl, it's a love connection. She wasn't looking for a relationship, although she was desperately lonely. It was just one of those things that happened. The relationship was cursed. The man was a teacher, and he was a married teacher in his mid 30s. Oh, honey. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, girl. His name was Henry. That was my iguana's name. And he taught art. Could you get him?
Mm-hmm.
He saw some of her work. She showed it to him in a brave moment after talking to him. He fell for her because she was a natural genius and he was an academic hack. That's what he told her. But maybe he fell for her because he was as lonely as she was. Don't you got a wife and some probably kids, sir? How you lonely? He wasn't a bad man, Henry. He was a patient teacher. His students loved him. He just didn't have any talent, and his wife was always nagging him to quit teaching and get a commercial job where she thought he'll make more money. Uh-oh, girl. But where he knew he would fail miserably. He wasn't handsome at all, not like John. In fact, he was the opposite of John in every respect. He was so mild mannered that he had a hard time protecting his place in line at the movies. You just gonna let him skip? He wore thick glasses and was helpless without them. He had an ulcer and was always chewing Maylac's tablets. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this cat from under this bed. Hold on, real quick. I'll be back.
Okay, come on.
Legally. Okay, just leave him there. Okay, y'all, sorry. He wore thick glasses and was helpless without them. He had an ulcer and was always chewing Maylac's tabs. Okay, girl, you got you a real one today. He was a comfort to Candy. He took her to dinner and helped her with her homework. Girl, you need that a lot. But their relationship had severe limits placed on it. He wasn't ready to leave his wife. He told her that right at the start. The administration couldn't find out about their affair or he'll lose his job. Well, that's how the wife will find out, huh? They went to late dinners, late movies. This is where y'all aren't smart. Sir, you just gonna go be all up in public in the same city where with college child. This ain't
College kids are out.
that's what I'm this is not smart. But okay. She got her a man, honey. With a wife. And he a teacher. Um and he always wore a hat. Henry's wife didn't seem to care. She was having her own affair with a building contractor. Okay, now everybody's got a brand new dance now. Okay. Okay, girl. Well, I guess it don't matter. I guess yeah, go on your dates. I guess it don't matter. She down. You just better hope none of the school people see you. You might think Candy was a fool to get involved with such a man, and I don't think that Candy would have argued with you. Her eyes were open. She knew where her affair was headed, which was nowhere. But she liked Henry. She really did. She may even have loved him, although not in the same way she loved John. In her heart, she had decided that she was never going to love anyone as much as she loved John. Girl, you like 12. John was like first love territory. She young, she don't know. Strangely enough, the whole time Candy was with Henry, she drew very little. For one thing, it was risky for her to take art lessons before. It was doubly risky now. Henry couldn't be seen with her on campus. Then there was the difference in their abilities. It was her talent that caught his eye, but when he was away from class, he later explained, he liked to forget drawing. Sure, he would comment on drawing if she showed it to him. He would offer constructive criticism, things to do to improve. Yet he really did not encourage her. Maybe he was jealous. Maybe he was trying to spare her a dead end career. Berkeley had more starving artists than any other city in the world. Spring break came. Candy stayed in Berkeley. Yeah, because you about to be messing with that man, child. She tasted freedom and she didn't want to have to live under her parents' roof anymore. Oh, I get it, child. That happened to me. I joined the military, though. I was out there. She got a job at a department store and one as a waitress, just to make ends meet. Her parents refused to send her money as long as she wasn't taking classes. But she felt as if she needed to take a break from studying. She had managed to complete the second semester with a C average and hadn't dropped any more classes. She continued to see Henry, of course. His wife went to Europe for the summer, and she saw him more than ever. She even slept at his house a few times. Girl, you treading some dangerous territory there. Henry didn't have any kids. He didn't think he ever wanted them. They were careful, they thought, to never have sex without using a condom. But condoms need to fail only once to fail altogether. Oh, Lord Jesus, girl. I feel like these next sentences gonna be the crazy as hell. Y'all ready? Y'all ready out there? Scott, you ready?
As ready as I'm ever gonna be.
Here we go. Candy got pregnant. You do adult things, sometimes you get adult results. Hey. School had restarted and Henry's wife was back in time by the time Candy found out. She waited 2 months before calling Henry or even checking for sure that she was expecting. She was in a classic denial mode. I was too when I got I was like, I don't think this is crazy. This is wild. It was real, and the result of it is 21 now. It couldn't be happening to her, she thought. It would go away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it come out of you, child. It's gonna be called giving birth. She would wake up one morning and there wouldn't be a fetus growing in her womb. Yeah, it won't when you give birth. But she wasn't stupid. She had a lot of experience with denial. She was the master at it and knew all the signs. Finally, she went to the campus doctor and had the bad news confirmed. Girl, you could have went to the dollar store and got a damn pregnancy test and confirmed that. Mhm. Candy told Henry while they were eating popcorn in the middle of a science fiction movie about an alien spaceship that was really a part of the mind of God, come to visit Earth to save everyone, even the wicked. Sounds like a conversation Scott and I had earlier. Candy never did find out how the movie ended. Henry led her by the hand out of the theater. Yeah, girl, because you pregnant and he married. And asked her,
movie theater when
of course, they sitting there eating popcorn at the movie. And she's like, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant. Did you want to tell your wife? Like, girl, okay, girl, here we go. Here we go. This is Poor Decision City. Let's go. He led her by her hand out of the theater and asked her to please repeat what she had just said. Girl, you up in there whispering. You at the movie like, I'm pregnant. Can you pass the popcorn? I'm pregnant. I need extra calories. Like, girl, get it together. Okay. He had heard her right the first time, the poor guy. Henry wanted her to have a more, get the baby taken out early. She agreed that it was probably the best. He offered to pay for it, and she said okay to that too. She didn't have much money. He even offered to take her to the clinic. Girl, is your wife gonna be okay with it? Never mind. It don't matter. It don't matter. She having an affair with the contractor child. She might be there getting her one too. You're right, Scott. She might be over there, honey, feeding the stirrups, child. Everybody just over there. He offered to pay for it, and she said okay to that too. She didn't have much money. He even offered to take her to the clinic. No, she replied. Too many people might see. That is a point. You are married and a teacher at the school she's going to, so there's that. Her thoughts were in chaos. She wasn't trying to deceive Henry. She wanted to think about things a little more, but she didn't tell him that. She just said she'll take care of things. Candy took the day off of school. Girl, it don't matter because you failing anyway. And went to San Francisco to the Golden Gate Bridge. For a long time, she stood on the bridge with the boats passing beneath her and enjoyed the breeze lifting her hair and the salty tang of ocean in her nose. Sounds so pretty. She didn't know why she had chosen that particular place to make such an important decision. Nothing happened on the bridge that helped her make up her mind. She received no sign from God. But when she stepped off the bridge, she was clear about what she had to do. She felt it deep inside, an absolute conviction that she had to keep her baby. Uh-oh, girl.
No.
I guess that man gonna go because, girl, he got a whole wife. Even though the wife is cheating with the contractor, I don't think she gonna want this baby. It was good her mind was so clearly made up, else she couldn't have endured what was to follow.
Yeah, professor not gonna be happy about this decision.
He is a professor, honey. He got a whole wife, honey, and he told you he ain't leaving that wife, honey. So, Henry got mad when he heard of her decision. He spent hours trying to get her to change her mind. She was too young to be a mother. She had to finish school. He was too old to be a dad. So when you were shooting up the club, you ain't know you was too old to be a dad? Miss me. He would get fired if the truth came out. Yeah, that's true. Candy assured him as best as she could. You see, she wasn't asking anything from him. He didn't have to give her a thing, she said. Girl, you better get you some child support. It's hard out here. He didn't have to acknowledge to anyone that the child was his. Henry listened to her as she tried to explain why she needed to keep the child. But since she didn't even know why, she didn't get very far. But where was there to go? She wanted the baby and he didn't. Their relationship ended that night. Girl, we knew that. Although neither of them admitted it for another month. By then, Candy was seeing Henry seldom. She didn't see him at all when she began to show in a big way. Girl, he don't want to see that. Like, girl, I ain't trying to have no kids. He trying to act like he ain't got no kids, y'all. Candy's baby was born on Valentine's Day. That's my dad's birthday, too. A small, dark-haired boy of 5 pounds, 6 ounces. She named him John, but always called him Johnny. Neither Henry nor his parents were present or neither Henry nor her parents, sorry about that, were present at the birth. They weren't to blame. Candy gave birth to Johnny in a hospital in a small town on the Oregon coast. She had moved there to get away from all, to get away from it all and try to start over. By the time she had dropped out of school and gone onto welfare, in a sense, her life was in ruins. She had no degree, no money, no man. But Johnny was born healthy and beautiful, and she loved him more than she had ever loved anyone. Or she loved him as much as she had loved John. Girl, we can tell you named the baby after him. She always thought of John as the father of the baby. That is what we call delusion. And not Henry. It made no sense. She knew, but that was how she felt. Poppy Corn fell silent. She reached into her coat and knocked out a cigarette. Coughing, she lit it and took a deep drag because, you know, what helps coughing? Smoking a cigarette. Helps with coughing. She stared out the window at the ocean. The waves were black foam, rolling toward invisible sand. Teresa kept waiting for her to continue, but the strange girl remained silent. Well, Teresa said finally, I'm tired of talking, Poppy said. I like Poppy. Girl, Poppy is like, girl, I'm about my business, okay? I don't feel like talking. I'm tired. Like, this story is done. It's over. Good, Free said. I'm tired of listening. You're the one who wanted to hear the story, Poppy said. Free twisted around. He was going to have a stiff neck by the time they arrived where they were going, wherever that was. I wanted to hear the story minus all the added BS, he said. Poppy tapped her ashes into her palm. Girl, get a damn ashtray. Yep, you should have got an ashtray when y'all stopped at that damn gas station. Teresa could see the girl in her rearview mirror. There was no BS. I just knew her better than you all, is all. You made her out to be a saint, Free said. Poppy chuckled softly, hardly. But did Candy ever get back with John? Teresa asked. She had really gotten into these characters, despite herself. No, Poppy said. What? Teresa grimaced. You mean they never saw each other again? They saw each other, Poppy said, a few years later, one more time, on a dark and stormy night. Do you want to tell them about that night, Jack? Free was sullen. No. Come on, Poppy taunted. Free suddenly smiled. Teresa watched him out of the corner of her eye. The smile was a curious affair, mischievous, grim, excited, all rolled into one. He glanced over at Teresa. Where did we leave John? He asked. He had just gotten out of juvenile hall and was searching for Candy, Teresa said. I didn't tell you he was searching for Candy, Free said seriously. Teresa stammered. I must have misunderstood you. Free stared at her for a moment more before refocusing on the road in front of them. The endless road. A single broken white line brushed by headlights that showed nothing new. Teresa wondered if she hadn't half hypnotized herself driving so late at night. Girl, pull over and go to sleep. Listening to this story. No, it wasn't just a story. It was Free and Poppy's voices. They both had such unusually sleepy voices, as if they were related, maybe brother and sister. I'll tell you what happened to John when he got out, Free finally said. I'll tell you the truth. That's all I can do. Mm-hmm. Got to get back to John. Right. See what happened to the homie over there. Okay, Scott, what did you learn, you guys? What did you guys learn, if anything? Because this kind of was a short one. But what did you guys learn? Put it down in the comments Scott, what did you learn?
Poppy's a mom.
Poppy?
Or not Poppy.
Candy.
Candy.
Uh-huh. She's a mom. That's what you learned?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me tell you what I learned. Don't be humping around with married school teachers. Don't be doing it, because then you might get adult results and then you just having an adult thing going on. Now, of course, Candy went and did her own thing after all that happened, but you never know the results. So don't be humping and bumping around with people unless you are ready to deal with adult situations, because anything can happen. So hump and bump with people who, if some craziness happen, they're mature enough to do whatever with you. Okay, only hump and bump with people who are willing to deal with the consequences of it with you. That's my lesson learned.
All right.
You got anything else, Scott?
I do not.
Okay, guys, well, we're gonna end it. We don't want to hold you. It's Saturday night. I'm sure y'all got things to do. So we are so happy to have you guys. We appreciate you joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the story. So with that, we're going to bid you guys adieu. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment if you like, tell us what you learned, tell us what you like, tell us what you didn't like, all that jazz. So with that, we're going to tell you guys, from wherever we are to wherever you guys are, peace, love, happiness. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm probably going to keep going because we got to get Freedom Jacks. Gonna see what happened with John, child. He didn't went to prison, girl. He got released, child. So we'll be back with that tomorrow, and of course Sunday Fun Day School. So with that, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Skin a marinky dinky dink.